Princess Stella, the literal ray of sunshine from Winx Club, she actually starts out as kind of a royal rebel.
Oh, is that right?
Totally. And we're talking about a princess who would rather rock a killer outfit than, wave from a balcony.
Huh. Who would have thought?
Right. But what's even more fascinating is how this, fashion-forward fairy uses her style to, challenge expectations and embrace her own unique light.
I like that.
So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack Stella's story from her captivating aesthetic to those sometimes messy relationships to uncover what she can teach us about confidence, individuality, and connection. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. So let's jump right in.
It's really interesting how Stella embodies both the radiant energy of the sun and the introspective calm of the moon, with her powers.
Yeah.
This duality is at the heart of her character.
She's this dazzling supernova, but with a hidden lunar side that adds depth and complexity. And you see this reflected in everything from her fashion choices to her relationships.
Exactly. Think about her signature colors, sunny yellow and fiery orange. They just scream warmth and energy, reflecting her vibrant personality and those powerful sun-based magical abilities.
But then she also incorporates softer tones, like white and pastels.
Oh, yeah.
Which hint at a more introspective, perhaps even vulnerable side, reminiscent of the moon's gentle glow.
It's a reminder that we're all multifaceted beings. We have our moments of brilliance and boldness.
For sure.
But also times when we need to retreat and connect with our inner selves.
I feel that.
The ebb and flow of the tides, those contrasting energies are part of what make us whole.
And embracing both sides of ourselves, the sun and the moon, the light and the shadow.
Yeah.
It's key to living a more authentic and fulfilling life.
Absolutely. And this brings us to Stella's, bold and often over-the-top fashion choices.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
She's all about those flowing fabrics, sparkling embellishments, and statement accessories. It's clear she's not afraid to stand out.
She's saying, I'm here, I'm fabulous, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Which, let's be honest, is pretty inspiring for those of us who sometimes feel pressure to conform.
But it's more than just a desire to make a statement.
Okay, what else?
Stella's fashion choices are a form of rebellion against the rigid expectations placed upon her as a princess. It's like she's using her wardrobe to declare her independence and challenge the traditional norms of royal decorum.
It's like she's saying, forget the tiara, I'll take a crown of sunflowers any day.
Exactly.
But there's also a deeper message here. Stella's story encourages us to use fashion as a tool for self-expression.
Totally.
It's about finding ways to visually represent our personalities and embrace what makes us unique.
Exactly. And it's about having the courage to stand out, even if it ruffles a few feathers along the way, because let's face it, true confidence often comes from embracing what sets us apart.
So, what can we learn from Stella's fashion rebellion? Maybe it's time to ditch those boring neutrals and add a pop of color to our wardrobe. Or maybe it's about experimenting with different styles until we find what truly reflects our inner sparkle. Because at the end of the day, fashion should be about celebrating our individuality.
Yes.
Not conforming to someone else's idea of what we should look like.
And speaking of celebrating individuality, Stella's story highlights the importance of friendship as a source of strength and inspiration.
Oh yeah, her friends are everything to her.
She might seem self-centered at times, but her loyalty to her friends is unwavering.
She's like the ultimate hype woman, always ready with a compliment, a pep talk, or a perfectly timed joke to lift their spirits.
Yeah.
It's like her love language is a custom-designed outfit that screams, "You are amazing."
And let's not forget those times she literally puts herself in danger to protect her friends. Beneath that glamorous exterior beats a heart of gold.
I know.
She might not always say the right thing or make the best choices, but her actions speak volumes about her unwavering loyalty and her willingness to go to great lengths for those she cares about.
It's a reminder that true friendship isn't about being perfect. It's about being there for each other, through thick and thin, flaws and all.
Exactly. It's about celebrating each other's strengths, offering support during tough times, and most importantly, reminding each other that we're not alone on this crazy journey called life.
And sometimes a little bit of humor and a lot of love can go a long way in strengthening those bonds.
What's also intriguing about Stella is her surprising humility. For a princess, she's incredibly down to earth.
Yeah, she is.
She laughs at herself, admits her mistakes, and doesn't shy away from showing vulnerability with her friends.
You know, it's funny because we often associate humility with being quiet or self-effacing, but Stella's humility shines through in a completely different way.
How so?
It's like she's comfortable enough in her own skin to let go of the need to be perfect all the time.
And that's a really powerful message, especially for women who are often bombarded with messages about needing to be flawless.
Oh, absolutely.
Stella's story encourages us to embrace our imperfections, laugh at our mistakes, and recognize that true strength comes from being authentically ourselves.
It's like she's saying, I'm not afraid to be a mess sometimes because that's part of what makes me human. And that's a message we could all stand to hear a little more often.
Absolutely. Because in a world that often values perfection over authenticity, Stella's willingness to be vulnerable and real is a breath of fresh air.
And it's a reminder that true confidence isn't about hiding our flaws.
Yep.
It's about embracing them as part of what makes us unique and beautiful.
Speaking of beauty, we can't talk about Stella without diving into the significance of her signature color. Yellow.
Her signature color, for sure.
It's not just a fashion statement, it's a reflection of her vibrant personality and her outlook on life.
It's like she's wrapped herself in sunshine. And there's actually some psychology behind this. Yellow is often associated with optimism, creativity, and energy, all qualities that define Stella's character.
And from a color psychology perspective, yellow is known for its ability to evoke feelings of joy, warmth, and hope. It's the color of sunflowers reaching towards the sky, the golden glow of a summer sunset, the cheerful chirp of a canary.
So it's no coincidence that Stella, with her sunny disposition and infectious laughter, gravitates towards this vibrant hue.
It's like she's intentionally surrounding herself with a color that reinforces her positive outlook on life and reminds her to choose joy, even when facing challenges.
And, there's something really powerful about that. Imagine the impact of consciously incorporating more yellow into our own lives, whether it's adding a pop of yellow to our wardrobe, decorating our homes with sunflowers, or simply visualizing ourselves bathed in golden light. It's a way to invite more positivity and optimism into our daily experiences.
It's like a visual reminder to embrace the sunshine, both literally and figuratively, and to approach life with a sense of hope and joy. And in a world that can often feel dark and overwhelming, that's a message we could all benefit from.
And you know what's really fascinating? It's not just about how we perceive the color yellow. It's also about how others perceive us when we wear it. Think about it. When you see someone wearing yellow, don't you instantly get a sense of their warmth and energy?
It's true. Yellow has a way of radiating outward, making a statement without saying a word. It's a color that commands attention and exudes confidence.
It's like saying, I'm not afraid to be seen, to stand out, to let my light shine. And in a world that often tells women to shrink themselves, to blend in, to play it safe, that's a pretty powerful message.
It's a reminder that we don't have to apologize for our vibrancy, our energy, our joy. We can embrace those qualities and let them illuminate the world around us.
So if you're feeling a little blah, a little invisible, a little unsure of yourself, maybe it's time to add a little sunshine to your wardrobe. Because sometimes a simple change in color can spark a shift in perspective and remind you of the power you hold within.
As we've been exploring Stella's bright and sunny personality,
Right.
It's easy to get swept up in her infectious energy.
Yeah.
But let's dive into a side of her that's often debated.
Okay.
That hint of self-centeredness.
You're right. It's no secret that Stella loves the spotlight. And sometimes her desire to shine can, overshadow others.
Exactly. Her focus on fashion,
Oh, yeah.
that undeniable love for attention, and her occasional blunt honesty.
Right.
It can rub some people the wrong way.
But here's the thing. Even with those moments, I find it refreshing that she, owns up to her mistakes.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen her put her foot in her mouth, only to turn around and genuinely apologize?
That willingness to acknowledge her flaws, to take responsibility without shying away, that's a sign of maturity. It adds a layer of depth to her character that's often overlooked.
It's like she's saying, hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to learn and grow. And that's something we can all relate to, right?
Oh, for sure.
We've all had those moments where we've been a little too focused on ourselves or haven't thought about how our actions might impact others.
Absolutely. And what's important is that we learn from those experiences, just like Stella does.
Yeah.
We see her evolve throughout the series, becoming more mindful of her impact on others, while still staying true to her vibrant self.
And let's not forget that those seemingly self-centered moments are often balanced by incredible acts of generosity and fierce loyalty towards her friends.
Right. She may falter at times, but her heart is undeniably in the right place. Remember when she designed those breathtaking outfits for each of the Winx, perfectly tailored to their personalities and powers?
Or that time she fearlessly put her own safety.
Those actions reveal her true character. Someone who deeply cares for her friends and is willing to go above and beyond for them.
It's like her love for her friends is as bold and extravagant as her fashion sense. And it reminds us that true confidence isn't about overshadowing others. It's about empowering them to shine as brightly as we do.
Speaking of complex relationships, Stella's dynamic with her parents, particularly Queen Luna,
Oh, yeah.
is a whole other level of intriguing. It's a roller coaster of royal expectations, rebellious outbursts, and underlying affection.
Oh, absolutely. You can practically feel the tension when those two clash. Stella's independent spirit bumps heads with her mother's traditional views, creating some pretty epic conflicts.
It's like watching a supernova collide with a lunar eclipse.
Whoa.
But even amidst those fiery disagreements, their love and respect for each other shine through.
It's clear that Stella admires her mother's strength and grace, even if she doesn't always agree with her choices. And Queen Luna, while sometimes exasperated, ultimately comes to appreciate Stella's unique spirit and unwavering determination.
It's a reminder that even in the closest relationships, particularly between mothers and daughters,
Yeah.
navigating differing perspectives can be a challenge.
And it's something so many of us can relate to. Whether it's with our parents, siblings, or even close friends, those clashes of values and expectations can be tough to navigate.
But like Stella and Queen Luna show us,
Right.
open communication and a foundation of love and respect can bridge even the widest differences.
Of course, we can't forget about Stella's romantic escapades.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other chapter.
She definitely isn't afraid to embrace her femininity and pursue what she wants, even if it leads to a few raised eyebrows.
That's part of what makes her so captivating. She's unapologetically herself, whether she's rocking a daring outfit or expressing her feelings for someone.
But what I find most admirable is her vulnerability and love.
Interesting.
She puts her heart out there, even when it means risking getting hurt.
Hmm.
And in a world that often encourages us to guard our hearts, that's a truly courageous act.
It's a reminder that true connection requires us to be open and vulnerable, even when it feels scary. Because sometimes the greatest rewards come from taking the biggest risks.
And let's be real, Stella's romantic journey hasn't always been smooth sailing. She's experienced her fair share of heartbreak and disappointment. But through it all, she never loses her optimistic spirit or her belief in love.
Exactly. She picks herself up, dusts herself off, and keeps on searching for that special connection. And that resilience, that refusal to give up on love, is something we can all learn from.
It's like she's saying, hey, heartbreak is a part of life, but it doesn't have to define us. We can choose to learn from it, grow from it, and keep believing in the possibility of finding a love that lasts.
It's important to note that Stella's journey isn't just about finding romantic love. It's about self-love and acceptance. We see her learn to embrace her flaws, celebrate her strengths, and ultimately find contentment within herself.
And that's a journey we can all embark on, regardless of our relationship status. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship we'll ever have is the one we have with ourselves.
So as we continue our deep dive into Stella's multifaceted world, we see a character who's far more complex than meets the eye. She's a captivating blend of confidence and vulnerability, strength and grace, boldness and humility.
And beneath that radiant exterior lies a depth of character that challenges us to embrace our own complexities, to navigate relationships with honesty and grace, and to never give up on the power of love, both for ourselves and for others.
Now, let's shift our focus to another fascinating aspect of Stella's personality, her humor.
Humor, yeah.
It's like a superpower.
It is-
Effortlessly diffusing tension and bringing lightness to even the most challenging situations.
You're right. She's quick-witted, playful, and always ready with a perfectly timed joke to lighten the mood. It's like she instinctively knows how to bring a little sunshine to any situation.
It's true. Her humor is like a secret weapon, disarming those around her and reminding everyone that laughter is often the best medicine.
And it's not just about making others laugh, is it? Stella's ability to laugh at herself, to poke fun at her own quirks and imperfections, it's like a sign of true self-awareness.
Exactly. It shows that she doesn't take herself too seriously, which makes her even more relatable and endearing.
It's like she's saying, hey, I'm not afraid to be a little silly, to make mistakes, to be perfectly imperfect. And in a world that often pressures us to present a flawless image, that's a refreshing perspective.
It is. And while her humor is generally lighthearted and playful, there are times when her jokes can be a bit well, pointed.
Oh, absolutely. Remember that time she teased Bloom about her clumsiness? It definitely crossed the line from playful to insensitive.
It did. And it highlights an important aspect of Stella's character. She's not always perfect.
Right.
She makes mistakes, she can be blunt, and sometimes her humor misses the mark. But I think that's what makes her so human, so relatable. She's a work in progress, just like all of us.
It's like by showing her flaws, she gives us permission to embrace our own imperfections. It's a reminder that we don't have to strive for unattainable perfection. We can simply strive to be the best versions of ourselves.
Exactly. And that journey of self-discovery and growth is ongoing. It's about learning from our mistakes, challenging ourselves to be better, and embracing the messy, imperfect beauty of being human.
And through it all, Stella never loses sight of who she is. She's true to herself, unapologetically expressing her unique personality in everything she does, from her bold fashion choices to her heartfelt relationships. And speaking of shining brightly, we can't wrap up this deep dive without talking about Stella's signature power.
Oh, you mean the power of light?
Exactly.
Right. She's the fairy of the sun and the moon, a literal embodiment of radiance. But it's more than just a magical ability. It's a metaphor for her inner strength and her capacity to bring light into the world.
It's like she's a walking ray of sunshine, illuminating everything and everyone around her. And it's not just about physical light, is it? It's about the way she inspires others, uplifts her friends, and brings hope to even the darkest situations.
It's about her optimism, her joy, her unwavering belief in the power of good to overcome darkness. And in a world that can often feel overwhelming and bleak, that's a message that resonates deeply.
It's a reminder that we all have the potential to be a source of light, to spark joy, to spread kindness, to offer hope to those who need it most.
And it doesn't have to be grand gestures. It can be small acts of kindness, a warm smile, a listening ear, a helping hand. Those seemingly insignificant actions can have a ripple effect, creating a wave of positivity that extends far beyond ourselves.
I love that. It's like each of us has this inner spark, this capacity to shine brightly and make a difference in the world. And Stella's story encourages us to nurture that spark, to let our light shine, and never underestimate the power of even the smallest act of kindness.
So as we conclude our deep dive into the multifaceted world of Stella Winx, we're left with a deeper understanding of her character, her complexities, and her enduring message of hope, self-love, and the transformative power of light.
And I think we can all agree that a little bit of Stella's sparkle can go a long way in making our own lives and the world around us a brighter, more joyful place.
Absolutely. So let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned from Stella and how we can apply her wisdom to our own lives.
Here are a few practical tips inspired by Stella's journey. Embrace your inner fashion rebel. What's one fashion choice you've always wanted to make but felt hesitant about? Maybe it's wearing a bold color, trying a new style, or rocking an accessory that makes you feel empowered. Go for it. Let your fashion choices reflect your unique personality and celebrate what makes you stand out. Cultivate a supportive squad. Surround yourself with friends who uplift and inspire you, just like Stella's loyal circle. Nurture those relationships, celebrate each other's wins, and offer a shoulder to lean on during tough times. Find humor in the everyday life can be challenging, but Stella reminds us to find moments of lightness and laughter. Don't take yourself too seriously. Embrace your quirks and find joy in the little things. Practice self-love and acceptance. Stella's journey teaches us the importance of embracing our imperfections and celebrating our strengths. Be kind to yourself, practice self-care, and remember that you are worthy of love and acceptance just as you are. And finally, let your light shine. Embrace your unique talents and passions and share them with the world. Whether it's through your creativity, your kindness, or your unwavering spirit, let your light shine brightly and inspire those around you.
Remember, just like Stella, you have the power to make a positive impact on the world. So go out there, embrace your inner sparkle, and let your light shine.